All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and proceed with my Wheel of Fortune 50th anniversary special, in which this time around we're going to play a game on the Xbox 360, the first of which is going to be Jeopardy. See how we do.
This is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories: state capitals, optical illusions, a Herculean effort, sitcom siblings by show, the Old West, and tongue twisters. Player 1, you start. This wife of Zeus sent 2 serpents to kill Hercules as a baby. He strangled them. Yes, player 1? Good for you. Player 1. Here's Sarah from our Clue Crew with the clue.
As one of his labors, Hercules had to dog-nap this three-headed beast from Hades.
Yes, player 1? That's correct. Please pick it. Hercules joined this husband of Medea for a journey aboard the Argo. Let's hear it, player 1. That's correct. Hercules literally took the weight of the world off his shoulders when he needed help with some golden apples. Let's hear it, player 1. Correct. Player Hercules had to wrestle with one of these creatures that fathered the Minotaur. Yes, player 1? No, sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? We're talking about a bull. You get to pick again, player 1. Originally, this term referred to the man employed on a cattle train who prodded the cattle to keep them on their feet. Okay, player 1. No, sorry. Any other takers? Here's the correct response. A cowpoke. Player 1. This gunmaker's classic Peacemaker 45 revolver could be purchased by mail order for $17. Yes, player 1? That is correct. In March of 1879, this young killer met secretly with New Mexico Governor Lew Wallace to discuss a pardon. He never got it. Let's hear it, player 1. That's right. Way to go.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1. Someone in partnership with another was in these, probably from the French for hut. Player 1. That is correct. Player 2 hours after he received a death sentence for killing Jesse James, the Missouri governor pardoned him. It's player 1. Good. Player 1, back to you. Hope you studied this eye part that at its maximum contraction in an adult may be less than 1 millimeter in diameter. It's player 1. Yes. Here's Jimmy. He'll show you.
To allow your eyes to see clearly at varying distances, fibers called the zonules of Zinn change the shape of this eye part that focuses light onto the retina.
Okay, player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? The correct response is lens. Don't detach this, which is next to the choroid and changes light rays into neural signals. Player 1? That's it. Drivers know the point where the optic nerve enters the eye has no rods or cones and goes by this two-word term. Player 1? That is correct. Player 1, the sclera and this consist of tough tissues that make up the outer layer of the eyeball and give it strength. Player 1? Correct. Select again. Jodie Sweetin, Candace Cameron, Mary Kate, and Ashley Olsen. Yes, player 1? You got it.
Yeah! Woo!
With Justin Burfield, Eric Pear Sullivan, Frankie Muniz. Let's hear it, player 1. Good. Taron Noah Smith, Zachary Ty Bryan, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. It's player 1. Good for you. Player Jason 1. Bateman, Will Arnett, Portia de Rossi. Okay, player 1. Yep. Player Ralph 1. Carter, Bernadette Stannis, Jimmy Walker. It's player 1. That's correct. Player 1. The old barracks in this New Jersey capital housed Continental Army troops during the Revolution. Let's hear it, player 1. Yes.
Yeah! Woo!
So the site for this capital was chosen because of its location between Pensacola and St. Augustine. Okay, player 1. Yes. So at an elevation of about 7,000 feet, this city in New Mexico's Sangre de Cristo Mountains is the highest state capital. It's player 1. Good for you. When 1. Kansas became a state in 1861, this city became capital. It's player 1. Yes. Player 1. Two state capitals with city in their names lie west of the Rocky Mountains: Salt Lake City and this one. Yes, player 1? That is correct. You get to. She sells seashells by this location. It's player 1. Yes. In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, these windy storms hardly ever happen. Player one? That is correct. You answer the Daily Double. You are in first. All right, here's your clue. One of these animals sat on a stump, and thunk the stump stunk. You have maintained your lead. Way to go. Please. These animals shouldn't sleep in a shack. These animals should sleep in a shed. Let's hear it, player one. Yep. Let's have a look at the $1,000 clue. The sawingest saw I ever saw was the saw I saw in this land of opportunity state. Let's hear it, player one. That's right. Way to go. Okay, we have player two in third place, which means that player two will go first in the Double Jeopardy round. And we have 2 daily doubles awaiting you in these categories. Biology, key to the city. Synonyms: the Bible, historic Munich, and tough tunes. Player two, make a selection, please, as we continue. The godfather of soul, James Brown, can't dance because of these in his pants. Okay, player one. Hey, you're right. Okay, Vanessa Williams sang, "Just when I thought our chance had passed, you go and do this." Let's hear it, player one. Correct. In a Michael Martin Murphhy song, this title horse busted down its stall. In a blizzard he was lost. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. Neil Diamond sang that a woman from this state shines with her own kind of light. It's player one. Right. Player one. Answer: one of the daily doubles. And you're in the lead now. So what's your wager? Answer this. In a Led Zeppelin tune, Robert Plant was packing his bags for these tidal mountains, familiar to Tolkien fans. Congratulations, you're still in first, player one. Select again. As Rachel died bearing him, she called him Benoni, son of my suffering. His father Jacob used this name. It's player one. You got it.
Yeah! Woo!
When the Jews of Persia are ordered killed, Mordecai puts on sackcloth accessorized with these. Okay, player one. That's correct. In Luke, Jesus is tried both by Herod and by this Roman governor. Okay, player one. Yep. The Jews held these people in low esteem, so they're made to look good in Luke. It's player one. Right. Player one. The first and second of these books cover the same period as 2 Samuel and 1 and 2 Kings. Okay, player one. Hey, you're right. Player one. In humans, this sex chromosome is present only in males. Player one. Yes.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one. Gustatory receptors are special cells that give you your sense of this. Let's hear it, player one.
No.
No, that's not right. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, player two. Good for you. Player two, where do we start? In plants, they're reproductive structures. In humans, light-sensitive structures along with the rods. Okay, player one.
Yeah.
Where the hypothalamus at the base of the brain controls the release of hormones by this master gland. Yes, player one.
Yeah.
Hey, you're right. One of the subdivisions of biology is this science dealing with the naming and classification of organisms. Player one? Yes.
Yeah. Woo.
Please pick again, player one. On Munich's coat of arms, you'll find one of these religious figures who originally settled the city and gave it its name. It's player one. No. Any other takers? Okay, player two. Hey, you're right. Player two, you start. Munich's motto used to be Die Weltstadt mit Herz, the world city with this. It's player one. Right. Player in 1634 and 1635, this deadly contagion devastated Munich, killing more than 1/3 of its residents. It's player one. Correct. The Summer Olympics in Munich in this year were sadly marred by terrorism and tragedy. Player one?
Yeah.
Answer? The second daily double. You are in the lead right now. You need to select your wager. Answer this. In the 16th century, Munich was a center of the German phase of this movement against Protestantism. Congratulations, you're still in first, player one. Player one, check out the Key of Karakoy in this city, known as Constantinople during the Byzantine Empire. Okay, player one. Good for you. Government building on Lambton Quay in this New Zealand capital is one of the world's largest wooden buildings. Let's hear it, player one. Correct. So, a large stone quay built by the French in 1780 is still used in Port-au-Prince, its capital. Yes, player one? Good. We wonder whether a steamroller was used to form the many quays of this German city, chartered in 1607. It's player one. That's correct. Circular Quay is a hub of transportation and tourism in this city. Player one? You are correct. Player one. As a noun, it's a synonym for flower. As a verb, it's to blossom or come into one's own. Okay, player one.
Yes.
Synonyms for crowd include throng, flock, and this word that can also mean an infatuation. Okay, player one. Yep. In court, you won't hear a lawyer say remonstrance, but this synonym. Let's hear it, player one. Good.
Yeah.
Player
Back
one. In the
one.
19th century, ladies didn't faint, but did this 5-letter synonym. Player one. You are correct.
Yeah. Woo.
And now the $2,000 clue. This synonym for to seclude is also a word for part of a monastery or convent. Let's hear it, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Okay, player three. That's right. Way to go. Looks like you'll all be moving on to Final Jeopardy after this break. Here comes the Final Jeopardy, players. The category is this: 19th century authors. You need to select your wager. All right, players, this is what it comes down to. Here is the Final Jeopardy clue. In 1833, a French historian said that this author had built a cathedral as solid as the foundations of the other one.
Oh shoot! I took the wrong one.
What did you say?
Victor Hugo, but that's okay.
And this
Okay.
correct response will add how much to your score? Let's see your response. And that will cost you. What did you put as your response? And that will lose you. Congratulations, player one. You are our new champion. Good game, everyone, and thank you so much for playing.